All right, hey, welcome to the Matt the Marine channel. I appreciate you tuning in. It means a lot to me. Today's topic is actually on a subject that means a lot to me, and that is the Ontario Knife Company, United States Marine Corps Bayonet. Now on the blade, it's going to say OKC 3S Combat, and then the other side, Ontario Knife USA. To some people, they just call this the OKC 3S. This is a high carbon steel blade. I believe it is 8 inches long. The swedge is sharpened and it has serrations. A lot of people don't like serrations. My experience with being in the Marines is that in a place where you're going to need a bayonet, and a lot of the places that Marines go, those serrations do come in handy. I generally prefer a true full tang knife, but this grip and this handle actually is pretty solid. And I have yet to see one of these bayonets break. I've seen all kinds of other knives break. I have not seen these bayonets break. I've seen them stuck in tires, twisted around, abused, all kinds of stuff. And I've yet to see one snap where the tang is at or even snap on the blade. The sheath over here is a silent polymer. You can see it has 2 snaps. I really wish they would get the glare removed from those buttons on there. That could be a target indicator. And then on the inside, you can see it's got this metal strip here that helps provide friction to hold this into place. So I believe this is jumpable. It's got your 3 points of retention. If I remember correctly, if you're going to jump out of aircraft in the military, your knife has to have 3 points of retention. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Here you got 2 molly straps, and then underneath here, you can pull this off, and you see that there's a white honing rod in there. It's a ceramic rod that is used for sharpening your bayonet. And then there's a drainage hole on the bottom. This silent polymer, if you're careful with it, you can actually draw that bayonet out relatively quiet. I don't have a lot of complaints about this. I do wish, though, that it was a full tang. And let me show you what I mean by that for those of you who may not know. On this old school Lee Enfield bayonet that I have here, you can see that there's metal going along here and metal going along here. And that's implying that this is one piece of metal going all the way through. And then they put handle scales on the sides. And what that does is that makes this blade strong, really strong. When you have a knife where the material shaves down and becomes really thin here, all the way down through there, that's called a rat tail tang. And there are military knives out there that use that rat tail tang design, and they break and they fail people. This, at some portion in here, is probably a rat tail. You can't see the tang, it's hidden. And I know from experience that generally some of these bayonets, when they have this kind of a bottom on them, they come apart, and the pieces inside that are all screwed together to form the tang are way thinner than the rest of the main portion of the blade. It may be reinforced somehow by the hilt here and by the strength of the actual handle, but it's not as strong as a true full tang knife. But like I said, I've never seen one of these break. Let me give you a size comparison here. Here's your knife, your bayonet. Here's an old school cold steel kukri. And this is, I carried this when I was in the Marines. You can see it's substantially larger. But you can tell that this is not small by any means. I would trust my life with this. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with this. Pretty good fighting utility knife. Now I have this positioned here so that you can see how this sheath and the color of this handle, and even the color of the blade, blends in or sticks out amongst different color variations. So you got like a hunting type woodland camouflage down here. You've got your olive drab here and your Marine Corps Marpat digital camouflage up there. I actually kind of like this color. I think it works pretty good. It's not going to glare too bad, aside from the buttons. I don't remember what the price on this was. I think I saw them online one day for like $96. I think that's a little expensive personally. I don't think there's $96 worth of material and craftsmanship into this. But if it's not going to break, and if it's high carbon steel and it's going to save my life, then I guess it is worth $96. I am a little interested in how they were able to get by with sharpening that swedge. When I was in the Marines, I was told that we were not allowed to sharpen our bayonets and that they couldn't have a double edge on them. And then when this one came out and it had the sharpening, the honing rod on the bottom there, and it had all these cool features, I was like, I wonder what changed. I do believe a lot of the stuff they told me in the Marines wasn't exactly accurate. We were told that Geneva Conventions prevented us from having something like this, but then we were allowed to buy knives like this and carry them. So I don't know. Could have been some staff sergeant having fun with all of us. But I do think of all the bayonets out there available for an AR-15, that is the best one. Now, with that being said, if you don't have a Colt M16A2, if you don't have an M4 Carbine, and if you don't have a Knight's Armament M16A2, I cannot promise you that this will fit on your AR-15 if your AR-15 has a bayonet lug. It may fit on the bayonet lug, but this part right here, once you get past the muzzle brake, the barrels generally are too thin for this to get a decent fit. And then what happens is you put it on there and it likes to rock back and forth. And you're not able to get a stable platform for that bayonet to function properly. So that's something to bear in mind. If you buy one of these and you want to get a rifle that will allow you to use this and function properly, you need to test this on the rifle before you buy it. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that saves some of you some money. I would not buy this as a main survival knife. I would not buy it as a main fighting knife. There are other options out there that are better. But as far as bayonets go, and like, kind of a utility knife, like for opening MREs and things like that, that thing's not half bad. Definitely is going to slice through nylon rope, mooring line, things like that you will come across in the Marine Corps. And I do like the fact that you can draw it pretty quietly with practice using this silent polymer sheath. I have been told that there is something about this sheath that helps break up your infrared signature, like the outline of your body through like an infrared camera. I don't know if that's true or not. You will have to do the research for that and ask around. So, don't buy this thinking it's going to help hide you from a heat camera. I can't promise that, though I do imagine it may be partially true. All right, well, I think I covered everything. I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment and chime in. And as always, Semper Fi and God bless.